effect, the basic idea is it's an amalgamation of the Hicksian and the Marshallian demand curves. Now, to understand that, our focus for today's lecture would be only understanding the income effect and the substitution effect, and then we'll move forward in the next lectures with Slutsky effect. But the idea is, I take it very simply. Let's say the price of a commodity declines. Now, when the price decline, what would happen to the income effect and what would happen to the substitution effect? When the price is declining, the product is becoming less expensive. Now, since it's less expensive, I have more in my pockets, I can buy more, right? So, my purchasing power increases, as simple as that. And what would happen to the substitution effect? Now, when the prices have reduced, the commodity has become more in my affordability range. And since it is more in my affordability range, why would I shift to other alternative? I'll keep on moving with the same alternative, right? So I'll stick to the product and the other alternatives would actually become less attractive for me. So that's as simple as that. Now let's understand the income effect and the substitution effect in detail. So let's focus on the income effect first. As it says, it is based on the change in the income. Now, when there is a change in the income, let's say my income increases, right? I have more in my pockets and therefore I have more purchasing power. If my income decreases, I have less in my pocket, so probably every penny that I would spend, I'll think twice before making a investment onto it, right? So income effect can have a direct as well as an indirect effect on certain commodities. When I say direct impact, what would be the direct impact? The direct impact would be, if I am going to purchase a cloth, probably I'll purchase less of cloth as I require. I won't get an additional pair of clothing, but the indirect effect would be something which is not related. That means probably I would consume food, right? But it would be a viable option for me to prepare at home and consume rather than to go out and dine. So probably my habit of dining out or going for a lunch outside or a dinner outside could reduce, right? So that's what we take under indirect effects. So with the income effect, there is a impact onto the direct effect as well as the indirect effect. Now, this would definitely change what? This income effect would lead to change in the consumption patterns. Definitely, if my income is increasing, again my consumption is changing, I'll consume more. If my income is reducing, I'll consume less. Or I'll consume more of a cheaper quantity of goods, right? So ultimately, what is a change? There is a change in the consumption pattern. Coming on to the next is the substitution effect. When I say substitution effect, that means rather than going for commodity A, I prefer to go for commodity B. So I'm shifting from commodity A to B. Now, when I would shift from commodity A to B? Very important question. When there is a change in the price or there is a change in the finance, right? If I have an increase in the income, my income level increases, probably I can go for an expensive option. Or if my income level decreases, I can look for a cheaper option. So that's change in the finance. The second one, as I said, is change in the price. If the price of the commodity A that I was consuming booms up, probably I'll search around for other decent quality goods that I could get at a reasonable price, right? So price and finance, both of these affect the substitution effect. Now, substitution effect is not only limited to consumers, right? Companies in their operations also actually take this into account very, very carefully. When I say companies take into account, what does it mean? Cheaper labor in a different country could be more attractive option. So probably investments going to or manufacturing going to Vietnam, China is one such example, or to developing nations is one such example, right? So my operations from the point of a company would be more where I find a cheaper labor, and that would be a good substitute to keep my prices at parity. Right? So substitution effect not only works for consumers, but it also works for companies and industries. Now understanding income effect versus a substitution effect. Now income effect versus a substitution effect, as simple as that. Income, I said change in the demand, so there is change in the consumption and that leads to change in the income. Substitution effect is change in the demand for the product, and this change in the demand of the product is because of two things: changes in the price or changes in the finance of an individual, right? Now when the prices rise in the market, what would happen? Through the income effect, right, there would be not much impacts, but when the prices rise, based on my changes in the income level, I would decide what would be the takeaway for the changes in the price. But for the substitution, I would definitely have a larger impact because I would easily switch to another commodity as possible. Now, as the price for the product rises, we also have multiple substitution options that exist, and that's again we need to switch to another commodity as soon as that. So when the price of a normal good increases, under the substitution effect, what would happen? The commodity consumption would reduce, and for the income effect it would again reduce. So for the substitution effect, there would be a net negative, right? For the inferior goods, there are two cases. One is when the substitution effect is greater than the income effect, and in the case of given goods, it's far less than the income effect. Now, in this case, if there is a drop in the quantity, then the substitution effect would be negative, but the income effect would be positive because I would have more commodity that I can get for the inferior goods, right? And therefore, what would be an outcome I cannot determine, right? But for a given goods, the decline for the substitution would be less, the increase for the income effect would be very high, and therefore there would be a net positive effect. However, when there is an independent good, I can say for the substitution it would be negative, but with the income there would be no effect because it is an independent good, and therefore the net impact would be negative. And if the substitution effect and the absolute values, note we are talking about absolute values of substitution effect and income effect only, right? If they balance out or if they are equal, in that case the total effect would be constant, and this total effect gives me a clear idea under the Slutsky equation, which we would discuss in the later lectures. So thanks for joining in today. For complete lectures on economics, follow the links below. Thanks, students.